One of the things that seems to rear its head a lot with Carplounge and the RT4 is the question of condensation in the boat. Now, condensation is a killer because it can actually stop everything working. Electrics and water don't mix, as we all know. The RT4 is as waterproof as can be, but there is always that element of fail if certain conditions prevail. Now, how does the condensation get in here? Well, that's, one of those things that it's atmospheric pressure, it's weather conditions, there's a whole myriad of things that will allow the condensation build up inside the hull of the boat. And when it does, if it builds up to a level where there's water droplets, you do have components that could be exposed to it and cause it to fail. Especially if you're in France, you get temperatures in the summertime up to nearly 40 degrees heat. At night you have an atmospheric pressure drop and things change, and you'll see condensation build up in a boat. The quickest and easiest way to prevent any of this happening is that when you've popped your baits out, especially if you're leaving them there for a while, what you do is you take off your battery cover, take out your batteries, unclip them from the boat, put them to one side, then take the 4 screws out of the battery compartment and lift it out. Using your 2 fingers, just dip inside, feel the bottom, have a look, put a torch in, make sure it's nice and dry. Be careful with all the wiring, but you can kind of move it to the side if you have to. If you find any dampness, all you do is you take a sponge or a tissue and you just dab it in very gently and take out the excess moisture. People seem to think that because it's a waterproof boat that they can leave it outside in the sunshine all day and then leave it out at night. So it's a little bit like when you sort of sleep in your bivvy and if it's a single skin, you get a lot of condensation at night. It's because the atmospherics have changed, it's leading to the condensation building up inside the hull of the boat. Easiest way to remedy that is do what I say, is take out everything, including the battery compartment, and let it breathe. Number 2, store it inside your bivvy. Don't leave it outside. Now, if you're really lucky and you have your car in your swim or you have your van in your swim, I would always suggest that you leave it actually in your van or your car. It's just a much safer way of stopping condensation building up. Another thing I noticed with the RT4, and it's happened to me, when you send the boat out in very, very choppy water and you're pushing into heavy winds, this is an unsinkable boat, and in fact most bait boats won't be able to go out in those conditions. This one can. But if you've got waves and water crashing over the front of the boat, the battery door, sometimes we don't push it down snug enough, and sometimes you will get a lot of water ingress coming in via the battery cover. And it's really important that if you've sent it out on big waves, when you're done, take all the stuff out like I've explained already, and then check for water inside, because sometimes you will get a little bit of water ingress from the waves splashing over the boat. If you maintain your boat on the bank and look after it, it should be trouble free. But it's not just a case of buying it and then just leaving it and letting it do its thing. You've got to look after these. It's electronics and water, and they're not the best bedfellows. So look after your boat and it'll look after you. That's Gerry, Carplounge Tackle. See you soon.